Happy Family Caregiver Month to you all. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to take part in this presentation today. My name is Diane Cooper. I'm the founder and president of Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment. I am a family caregiver also. First, I want to thank God for this day and also for allowing us to advocate for family caregivers for over 15 years. I want to thank our board members for their continuous support and dedication to a worthy cause. The organization began in 2006 after my family and I took on the role of caring for my father, Leon David Simmons. It was through the eyes of family caregiver and years of experience for working for visiting nurse services as a community health nurse that I noticed that caregivers did not take on the role or title of family caregivers. It was at that time that I thought to myself, the family dynamics are completely different than what I thought it to be. This experience made me look at family dynamics from a different view. It also made me sensitive to the role of caregiving, to relate, to better understand the challenges that caregivers face daily. But most of all, I noticed caregivers' lack of knowledge of how to navigate the healthcare system, how to reach out for help, and also to also take time out for self-care. So I wanted to make a difference. In addition to being a caregiver for my father, my mother, I'm presently the caregiver for my husband, who was on 24 hours of oxygen due to COPD. But I'm happy to say that he's celebrating his third anniversary as a lung transplant recipient and is no longer on oxygen. Connecting, supporting, and servicing caregivers and their families is my calling, but it's a calling that should not be taken alone. It is meant to be walked along with you all. Our annual Family Caregivers Award Gala never fails to put a smile on my face and warm my heart. I am grateful for your individual support and partnership with community organizations. In recognition of my father and the support of our sponsors, each honoree of the Leon Davis Simmons Recognition Award will be blessed with a monetary gift of $500. Each year, this platform enables come to be a blessing to get the attention of elected officials, policymakers, healthcare providers, and so they can hear the voices of caregivers, their challenges, needs, and concern. We all are going through. So I pray that God will continue to give you the strength to endure, the faith for today, and hope for tomorrow. And now it gives me honor to introduce the host for today, Shakira O'Kane. Shakira O'Kane is the Senior Director of Institutional Advancement, Girls for Gender Equity, GGE Corporation. Shakira is a graduate of Binghamton University and Emory University School of Law. She's admitted to the Illinois Bar and holds a certificate in nonprofit management from Duke University. Shakira has worked in and for small and large nonprofit organizations, foundations, and governments in a variety of capacities. She is not only a big idea person, but also loves process and is a self proclaimed data junkie. She believes that her mission is to help as many people as possible who have ideas to change the world go from idea to implementation, making sure that they continue to put the mission first. Shakira is also the founder of Black Girl Flourishes, and she is also my daughter. So I turned you over to Shakira O'Kane for the rest of the program.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello and good morning and welcome to the Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment Annual Caregivers Gala. This is our second year being virtual, and we thank you for joining us on this wonderful occasion to highlight the selfless sacrifices and triumphs of everyday caregivers. Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment, or COME for short, has been fulfilling its mission of providing caregivers with resources and knowledge to make wiser decisions and choices with confidence regarding the care for their loved ones for over 10 years. And we plan to be here for way more. Under the never tiring leadership of Diane Cooper, my mom, CEO and founder, COME has done some amazing things. And you may have seen some of this. So I just want to highlight a couple of things. So from the weekly articles published in the Co-op City Times with relevant information about caregiving, senior care, and available resources in the community. And then we had this year, for the first time, COME embarked on its Let's Talk informational sessions. And those were happening weekly, and they will continue into 2022. COME even published a free ebook available on the website right now called Keeping It Together When things are falling apart, packed with tons of information to cope with illness, loss, and unexpected caregiving challenges during this pandemic. But wait, there's more on the horizon. COME will be launching a youth caregivers research project, we hope, in the near future. We will also be releasing a family caregivers resource guidebook on the website. And COME will be releasing this week affirmation cards for caregivers. And I've got them in my hand, so I'm going to do a quick little preview. This is what they look like. And so these affirmation cards are just little short sentences to encourage caregivers along their journey. We're really excited about it all, and all of it is made possible by your support, those of you that are watching, and by the support of our sponsors, and of course, the support of our board members. Speaking of our board members, those of you who have had the pleasure of attending a live event and our live gala over these years may have met Joseph Brown Jr., a dedicated board member and amazing human being. This year, Joe passed away due to COVID complications, and we'd like to take a moment to honor his service to our board. So please watch this quick tribute. Thank you. Thank you all so much for taking that moment with us. Joel was a force to be reckoned with, and he will be missed dearly. He was such a vivacious and dynamic person. And we're going to make sure that today, as we highlight our caregivers and honor our caregivers, we keep that same energy that he embodied. So now I am going to turn it over to Dr. Nikki Stewart for a quick tribute to our caregivers.
Good morning, all. Thank you so much, Kira. And that was definitely a tribute to Joe. We will definitely miss him. So I'm going to be reading a caregiver poem written by Aya Antoinette M. Emmers. Caregivers are unsung heroes, phenomenal and amazing human beings of all races, gender, and economic background who care for children, parents, spouses, partners, friends, and even animals. At times, they are sandwiched between one or more people with little to no recognition or reward. Caregivers give graciously of their time, money, and resources. Caregivers provide unconditional love while they self-sacrifice because what they do is not a 9 to 5 or have a job description. Caregivers make the impossible possible. Let us value caregivers because what they do is absolutely priceless. Caregivers experience so much ups and downs, but they wake up every day to give their best. We must realize caregivers are the backbones of families and our communities. Caregivers make a difference. Can't you see? Caregivers matter. They have earned and deserved our love and respect for all they do to carry on. Caregivers are special in so many ways because they change their lives to benefit others. Caregivers are people too, so let us recognize and appreciate all that they do. Caregivers need space to self care and self love without judgment. Caregivers are to be cherished and treasured. Caregivers, we thank you for all that you do, your love and sacrifices. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Nikki. Those are some wonderful words. And now I'm going to turn it over to our guest speaker, Natalie Clark.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie Clark, and I'm so grateful to be able to speak to you all this evening. A special thank you to Miss Diane for letting me do this and asking me to do this because this is not something that is common to my character. So it was out of the box for me. But I am happy to be able to share my story and very happy to be able to tell you today. So let's start. My mother's name is Natasha Clark. She's a single mom, 5 children, and worked at the post office for many years. Very outspoken, loved to travel, always taking care of other people. But unfortunately, in 2008, my mom went to go get LASIK eye surgery, and the doctor messed up her eyes. So then she ended up becoming completely blind. The following year, she ended up developing Parkinson's. So it's kind of like a double whammy. And it was extremely difficult for my family to try to wrap our heads around this because my mom was our sole care provider. She did everything. She paid all the bills. She took care of all of us. So we kind of lost our foundation. And at that time, I was in high school. So it was hard for me to try to transition and become accustomed to this new normal that I would have to deal with. So in the beginning, the support was there with so many people because, the newness of what happened, everybody wants to help. But as time goes on, months pass, years pass, everybody starts to kind of like dwindle down and dwindle away, and everybody's going back to their everyday lives. So by 2014, I was my mom's sole care provider. And I was the youngest of 5 children. I was the last one in the home. So it made sense that I would be the one to take on that job. So I made all the appointments. I talked to all the doctors, kind of like on a first name basis with a lot of them. Managed medications, cleaned the house, bathed my mom. Tried to cook sometimes. I'm not the best cook, but I did my best. And even like tried to find alternative care methods for my mom, reaching out to doctors who were doing research in neurology, associated with Parkinson's or vision loss to see if they could provide any help. I was doing all of this after I graduated Pace University, and I started working nights at Fort Wayne Hospital. The following year, I decided that I wanted to try and become a doctor. So I had to join a post-baccalaureate program before getting into medical school. So I was doing all of this while working nights and going to school during the day. So to be honest, I was very tired a lot of the time, and I was very frustrated a lot of the time. I was blessed with starting the process of becoming a doctor in 2019. Thankfully, I was able to leave for school, and to be honest, I felt guilty leaving my mom. But to be even more honest, I felt guilty because I felt relief after being able to leave. And I feel like that wasn't like the best feeling for me to have, or that I shouldn't have experienced that, but it's the truth. When I had left for school, my older siblings were kind of forced into helping my mom more because I was gone, and they weren't the best at it. So by the time the pandemic hit and I came back home, it was a lot of things that I had to do that they weren't the best at doing when I was gone. So it kind of felt like all the burdens and the responsibilities I had once left kind of like came back at me full force. Thankfully, I was introduced to Miss Diane to 2020, and she gave me so much information on all the things that my mom would be able to attain because of the fact that she was disabled, and to help me with relieving a lot of the stress and responsibility that I had on myself. Because prior to meeting Miss Diane, I felt like, I don't know, it kind of felt like there was like no end in sight. Like, you know, a lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish wouldn't be able to be accomplished because, you know, I needed to take care of my mom. And being that I had to do all of this stuff while in the middle of medical school, it felt very intense and it was very hard for me. So finding out about this program and what it provided for me, I'm beyond grateful for everything that, you know, speaking to Miss Diane and what this program does for others. So I found so many resources, signed my mom up for so much, and being able to freely talk about my emotions that I felt, you know, like being frustrated and feeling that relief after leaving. Those are things that you wouldn't commonly talk to other people about because you would feel like they would judge you for it, because you don't think that you should have those feelings, but those are actually common feelings that people who take care of others, including their family members, have. And being a family caretaker or caretaker in general is just not an easy job at all. You know, the amount of compassion, empathy, and patience one needs to have to be able to do that work is through the roof, and the people who do it as a living and for their family members deserve the world, in my opinion. It was hard for me because I was trying to help my mom be the person that she was prior to, you know, the person I described at the beginning. You know, very outspoken, very full of life, and she wasn't that person anymore. So it made it hard for us. We bumped heads a lot. There was a lot of friction. So instead of me just allowing her to be this new person that she was, I was so busy trying to fight for her to be this old person that she wasn't anymore. And to be honest, if you are a person who lost so much of themselves and became from being an independent person to being a completely dependent person, I can only imagine what you would go through mentally and emotionally, now that I reflect on it. Even the process getting the help from my mom was hard. So many loopholes you have to jump through, so many hours on the phone, so many applications that you have to fill out. It's hard, and it kind of feels like you kind of feel discouraged during the process. Like, there's so much pushback during the whole entire process. You don't feel as if there's ever going to come to an end point where things are actually going to go your way. But thankfully for my mother during that time, her doctors were very helpful and supportive of us. They wrote so many letters. They had their assistants and things like that who were very in communication with me during the process. But unfortunately, we know that's not the case for everyone. Trying to advocate for your family member can be very tough. And it's not even including all of the socioeconomic barriers and racial bias that we face. My hope is that the government and healthcare system kind of provide more of a streamlined process for patients and caregivers just to make the process easier. The home care isn't something that people should have to fight for. Sometimes it felt like trying to get the services and the help from my mom, like I was trying to pull it from them and they were trying to hoard it from me, and that's what made it more frustrating than anything. And I feel like having a social worker, a part of a healthcare conglomerate or whatever doctor you see, should be standard so that they can provide these resources to their patients so that you don't have to go through all the nonsense you have to go through trying to get it elsewhere. I do remember in the middle of the pandemic, my mother actually had an incident at home, and then she had to go to the ER, and they found out she had aspiration pneumonia, which is common for people with Parkinson's to get. And then after that, a boatload of social workers and resources and things like that were brought to us. But it's unfortunate that a person has to go to the ER, or a sad situation where they have to experience something that requires it to be emergent for people to get these resources. Like, a lot of this should start first line in the doctor's office. I'm a firm believer that life experiences prepare you for your future. And as tough as my experience was trying to take care of my mom, I pray that all that I learned about the healthcare system and the government system and what I learned about myself during that time will benefit all my future patients. Having a full, clear view of the whole entire system and the hardships that families like mine face, I hope it's able to allow me to provide better care, not just to the patient for what individual complaint that they come in for, but for their overall well-being. And for those who are still in the process and still in the thick of everything, I say to you, just keep going. We all know the resources that are out there. And advocating and pushing for your family member is the most important thing that you can do. Fighting for what you feel like they deserve is the right thing to do. And one of the best sayings I heard actually while eavesdropping on somebody else's conversation was, a woman was telling her friend, you are a good person and you give and you take care of people, but I want you to be used, but I don't want you to be used up. So I say that to say this: take care of yourself. Make sure you always take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then in the end, who is going to take care of your family member? The best thing I did for myself during that time was get therapy, and it was tremendously helpful. I developed so many features that I didn't know that I had acquired until it was revealed to me during therapy, and learning things to avoid, feeling anxious or to deal with the fact that I was feeling frustrated helped me so much. And as they say, we are shaped by our experiences, but we determine what that shape will be in the end. So thank you, everyone. That's the end of my little story. Thank you for letting me speak to you all. I hope you enjoyed my story and that it encouraged someone today. And if anyone wants to get in contact with me, please let Miss Diane know, and I'm more than open to being able to speak to anyone further about what my process and my journey has been. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Natalie. That was an amazing talk. And I hope that folks who are at home listening grab some gems. I wrote down some gems, specifically thinking about, she said, we are shaped by our experiences, but we get to determine the shape. She also said, don't be used up. And I think that that is exactly what we try to focus on here at COME. And that is that caregivers need care too, to make sure that you are not, in fact, used up, right? All right, so we are going to keep moving throughout our program. And next we've got Jackie Gage up with a musical selection.
Welcome. My name is Jackie Gage, and I am so excited to welcome you to the annual COME Outreach Caregivers Gala. And for all of you who have been caring for someone who's sick, someone who's disabled, someone who's elderly, someone that you love, We see you, we acknowledge you, and we appreciate you. And this song, this music, is for you. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light that we see, oh, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Ooh, darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Now when the sky we look upon shall tumble and fall, and the moon should crumble to the sea, oh, I won't cry, no, I won't, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, oh, won't you stand by me? Whenever you're in trouble, you just stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand? Won't you stand by me? When you're in trouble, stand, won't you stand by me? Oh, whenever you are lonely, you just stand, oh, stand by me. You don't have to worry, you'll just stand by me.
Thank you so much for that wonderful selection, Jackie. And there are so many caregivers today who are standing by, standing next to, standing in the gap for the folks that they are caring for. Next up, we will have a greeting from Senator Jamal Bailey.
Here's New York State Senator Jamal T. Bailey. I want to congratulate Diane Cooper and COME Incorporated on the 15th Annual Caregivers Gala in recognition of National Family Caregivers Month. I was incredibly honored a couple years ago to be one of your honorees, and that meant a lot to me because caregivers do so much for our communities. You're unsung heroes. You're taking care of your relatives, your family members, your friends in the community, and you're doing so sometimes without the recognition. But it's time to recognize you. It's time to let you know how important you are, how critically important you are, I should say. And I want you to know that from the desk of a state senator in the 36th senatorial district, you will always have a friend. You'll always have someone who understands your struggle and someone who's always there to help you. So congratulations to all the honorees. Ms. Cooper, you are a shining star in our community. We appreciate you, we applaud you, we love you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Senator Bailey. We have been really grateful to be on the receiving end of his support, both by attending our events, also communicating to our caregivers, and also championing for us in the Senate as well with caregiver legislation for youth caregivers and things like that. Now let's get into the reason that we are here, which is to highlight our family caregivers. First up, I'd like to highlight Lydia, who is managing the care for her parents with the assistance of some home care services. She assists her parents with things like doctor's appointments, medication, and shopping. Lydia.
My name is Lydia Oliveira, and I've been taking care of my parents for 14 years. My dad is 97, my mom will be 86 this month. If it wasn't for the help of Araceli, she's the home health aide that stays with my parents 6 days a week to help with all the daily activities like medication reminders, medical appointments, grocery shopping, laundry, and activities that we often take for granted when we're older and aging. She goes above and beyond her call of duty, and we appreciate her so much. And if it wasn't for a home care agency and someone like her, I wouldn't have been able to work a full-time job. I prepare their medications on a weekly basis. I make sure that they keep the appointments, that the refills are up to date. And I call them daily to find out if they need anything, how they're doing, how's their spirit, what they did today. Conversate with them so they can feel that they're still loved and important in our lives. Daily challenges would be not being able to work a full-time job if it wasn't for a home care agency. That's so important in our life, and there's times when it does get difficult, and I just believe that, hey, they took care of me, now it's time for me to take care of them. And that's how I get through the day. That's how I don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lydia. And for those that might be watching and are family caregivers, you probably are hearing some of the similar things that you do for your family. And one of the things Lydia said was that it's how she gets through the day and she doesn't give up, right? And I think that is probably also something that caregivers experience as well, right? To be able to push through. Next up, our next caregiver is someone who is a caregiver and a steward, not just for their father, but also as a pastor of a church, being the steward for the congregation. And that is Reverend Frederick Miller.
Good evening. My name is Frederick Miller. I am a caregiver for my father, Freddie Miller. I've been a caregiver now for almost a year and a half. I made this decision consulting with my family, with my father, because he had previous caregivers who weren't doing the job that they were supposed to. They weren't taking care of him like he needed the care. So I got together with my family, and after much consideration with my family and much prayer, became his caregiver. It's not an easy job being a caregiver for your loved one, because sometimes you just bump heads with them, and sometimes you just feel like you want to throw in the towel and life comes. But I just want to encourage a caregiver, don't give up, stay in there, hold your head high. You can make it with prayer and with God on your side. Have a great evening.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Reverend. I hope that everyone is kind of taking to heart some of these gems from our caregivers. Next up, we have got Cherokee, who cared for her sister for over 33 years. Her sister, unfortunately, has passed, but she took care of her sister until her very last, and took her sister kind of everywhere with her to ensure that she had a fulfilled life. Cherokee.
Hi, this is Cherokee Black. I'm not good at these self-tape video things. This is Cherokee Black. I am a caregiver. I was caregiver to my sister Monique Robin Shepherd, for 33 years. I lost my mother 1981 June, my brother 1981 October, my father December 83. And in 1987 September, Monique Robin Shepherd, my sister, had a massive stroke. At 28, I became the matriarch of my family. I had a son. My sister had a 3-year-old son. I was called to the hospital. Monique was rendered brain dead. She kept sending me signals that she was still alive by kicking her leg every time the doctor said that she was brain dead. She would kick her leg. And I believed her, and I have a strong faith. So I did not do anything. I waited for her to come out of the coma, which she did 6 months later, at which time she whispered, "Sis, what the F are you crying for?" Once I gained my sense at her first words to me, that was a nervous laugh, I promised her that I would care for her and give up my career. I had just signed a contract with ABC and One Life to Live to be Blair Underwood's girlfriend. I gave that up and walked away to pick up her son, 3, and care for her. I promised her that I would be with her and include her totally in my life until she took her last breath, which was January 17, 2020. Her funeral and homegoing was February 1st. I have to say that I love caregiving, I love nurturing, I love caring. And as we speak, I have a woman, 89, that I go visit in a nursing home daily. I take her coffee and a bagel. She enjoys my company. I included Monique in every part of my life. We went to Indian powwows. We went to barbecues. We went to concerts. Monique saw The Lion King on Broadway shortly before she died. We had a good life. Her son is now 35. My son is now 49. And I live alone with a cat. But I still find time to love and nurture and care for my friends. Anyway, this is Cherokee Black. I'm going to sign off now because I'm trying to be under 2 minutes. I know it's impossible to talk about 33 years in that time. Thank you, Debbie Jackson. I want everyone looking at this to have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Cherokee. I think the level of sacrifice, the commitment, just wonderful and beautiful. And continuing to give care and having that be the center of your life, it is awe-inspiring. All right, next up, we are going to have Mirtha.
Mi nombre es Mirta García Verdejo. Mi esposo, Félix Verdejo, perdió la vista por hace 18 años. Yo soy su cuidadora, pero el reto más grande que hemos tenido es que le han hecho 10 trasplantes de córnea y ninguno le han funcionado. No he podido recuperar la vista, pero seguimos adelante con el amor de Dios y la fe en Dios. Dios hasta ahora me ha ayudado a seguir adelante con Él y firme en el Señor todo el tiempo. Yo le exhorto a todas las personas que tengan esta responsabilidad, que sigan adelante, que no desmayen, que le pidan mucho a Dios para que puedan seguir adelante. Es duro. He pasado por muchos momentos difíciles, pero con Dios por delante todo es posible. No desmayen, sigan adelante y que Dios les bendiga mucho. Y gracias por este honor en este día. En el nombre de Jesús. Amén. Que Dios les bendiga a todos.
Gracias, Marta. Y Dios te bendiga enormemente. Thank you all. If you didn't know what Mirtha was saying, we did drop it in the comments as well. So we are going to turn now to our sponsors who help make the services that Come provides possible. So on to our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Elliot Klein, CEO of New York Psychotherapy and Counseling Center, and we are very proud to support your organization and all the wonderful work they do. I very much applaud Diane for leading such a worthwhile organization, and we have tremendous respect and admiration for all of your caregivers. Being a caregiver is a very, very difficult type of job to have, but it is extremely rewarding. And we very much appreciate all of your hard work, and we congratulate you on your honor, and keep up the great work.
Hi everyone, glad that we can join you this year at the Caregivers Outreach Ministries 15th Annual Awards Gala. Boy, that was hard to get out, wasn't it? But I'm really glad to be here with you. I'm Jim Alston, owner of McCall's Bronxwood Funeral Home, with someone you all know very well, Patricia Myers. Hi, Pat.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
This is just an exciting moment to be here today to celebrate with caregivers.
Yes, and family and friends at one time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean the outreach is anything you could imagine. But we here at McCall's are really glad to be with you. Unfortunately, we're going to be doing this virtually again, but hopefully next year we'll all be able to embrace. This has really been a tough year, pandemic and all. And we're quite fortunate to have made it through whole as a family. And we look forward to spending time with you as a family. We're still carrying our masks here, and we're still practicing social distancing. And of course, to the best I can, I encourage everyone to get that vaccination. It's very important. But we can beat this now so we don't have to fight it again in the future. We've lost some time, but we've learned a lot. We've learned how much we have to depend on one another, and we've learned how much we have to intentionally care for each other. Otherwise, as the pandemic has shown, what affects you will affect me, and what affects me will affect you, even if it's not our intention. But this is a joyous occasion. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, next year. We look forward to much better things. But Pat, what do you have anything to say?
Yes, I just want to congratulate Ms. Diane Cooper and the entire members of Caregivers Outreach and Ministry Empowerment for the wonderful job that they have done over the years, and continue to do what you're doing by reaching out to the community, educating them, so that they will know what it is that they need to do or help them along the way with caregiving.
And yes, Diane, I didn't mean to forget to personally thank you and congratulate you for your hard work and the success you've made at this organization. You spread the word, and we're here to support you. So, season's greetings, caregivers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christopher Smith, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for the Alzheimer's Association in New York. I want to first thank Diane Cooper and the entire team at Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment for inviting us to the Come Outreach Gala and for being great partners. You are all to be commended. Our two organizations work together to serve the caregiving community in the Bronx and Yonkers, and now we get to work together to celebrate them. To all the caregivers being honored, I want to say thank you. The hours you put in, the care that you provide, often without payment or even gratitude, it takes a special person. My heartfelt wish is that you take care of yourselves as well as you take care of others, because you can't do work this hard if you're running on empty. The Alzheimer's Association is here for you on good days and bad. We provide free education and services to the families affected by Alzheimer's and other dementia in the Bronx and every other borough too. You can call to get help or just reach out to talk anytime, day or night. Call our helpline at 1-800-272-3900 or visit us at alz.org. We always say caregiving is hard, but getting help shouldn't be. So once again, I congratulate the honorees and thank all the caregivers who have taken on this hard work. We look forward to continuing to partner with Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment Group to serve our community in the Bronx and Yonkers and elsewhere. Thank you for this opportunity. Have a good day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Krieke. I am the founder and creator for Seams NYC. We are a clothing company creating sophisticated garments with ethnic flair for women in business. But before I tell you about myself, I just want to thank Caregivers Outreach for this opportunity to participate in this great event. And I also want to congratulate the honorees today. I was a healthcare administrator for over 30 years, and during that time, I encountered a great number of caregivers taking care of their families at home. You are essential workers, and we value the work that you do. So I started my company after retiring from healthcare in 2020 to provide women with a way to showcase ethnic cultures in their clothes when dressing for business. My garments are made of 100% cotton fabrics and accentuated with ethnic fabrics. So here you can see some of my creations behind me on the wall as well. And you can also see it in my jacket, which I designed with this beautiful African print and accentuated it with some black cotton fabric at the collar and the sleeves. You can find all these styles online on my website at www.seams.nyc. I also participate in local markets, and the next one I'll be at is the Grand Bazaar on West 77th Street in Columbus. So if you are in town, please stop by. I will be there this coming Sunday, November 7th, and then again December 5th and December 12th. Thank you. Enjoy the program.
Hi, caregivers. I'm Alyssa from the Monteleone Law Group, and we are so proud to be a sponsor of this year's gala. Our firm helps clients and their loved ones navigate through issues as they age. Many of us know or are coming to know that in this country, it's very expensive and very complicated to get older with all the different issues that come up in the legal realm. Our firm helps clients with protecting assets for Medicaid benefits, or helping them with their estate plan, or even helping get guardianship over a loved one to protect them from exploitation and abuse. What I really wanted to come on here today and say is thank you to all of the caregivers for all of the hard work and dedication that you give to the ones that you care for. This work is priceless. What you do every day, day in and day out, you're enriching the lives of those who need it the most, and that work is priceless. So even though it might be a really, really, really hard job, and there's days that you feel beat down and exhausted, just know that this work, while it may feel that it goes unappreciated and maybe you don't get as many thank yous as you want, this work is priceless, and what you're doing is so meaningful to so many. So please keep it up, keep up the good work, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much to our sponsors. If it wasn't for our sponsors, we would not be able to put on these events. We also would not be able to honor our caregivers with a gift of $500 to each one of them this year. And we also would not be able to do what I'm about to do, which is to announce our raffle winner. So thank you everyone who purchased tickets to our raffle. I'm really excited for your Williamsburg vacation. And all right, let's go ahead and get into the raffle. Okay, our raffle winner. Yes, our raffle winner is Deneen Donnelly. Deneen, we will be in touch about your Williamsburg vacation. Thank you so much for buying tickets and congratulations. Okay, what we're going to do now is shift a little bit, and I am going to swing it back to Diane Cooper to do the letter to a caregiver, something that we do every year.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations to our raffle winner this year. The two words that caregivers tend not to hear that often is thank you. So we have a letter to caregivers, and it says, when was the last time someone asked you how you felt? Do they really care about you? Does it bother you that people walk up to you, hug and kiss you, and then say, it's for me, the care recipient? I know that it's not easy to look at me and imagine that there was a time that I took care of you. I know that there are times when I can be difficult, but this is how I deal with my losses. I often think about the good times in my life and may even speak them out loud. This is my attempt to hold on to the way I used to be. I may not be able to speak, I may not be able to see or even recognize you at times, but believe me, I can feel love, compassion, kindness, patience, and constantly I can feel that you are just unforgiving and constantly unselfish, and you give to me without any care whatsoever. You're not easily angered, angered, and have never kept an account of wrongdoing. You have been there for me. You have been there to protect me and keep me from harm. I want you to know that it is you that give me hope. I can trust you, and I know that your love will never fail. I care about you. I appreciate you. I love you. I really love you with all my heart. You are so very special to me. In fact, you are a gift from God. It would give me great joy to know that you take care of yourself just as well as you're caring for me. I'll be okay. Just take time out for you. Treat yourself to something special. Smell the flowers, watch the sunset, and listen to the birds sing. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I know that you're doing the best that you can, and you're doing a great job. I just wanted to tell you that I love you and say thank you so very much for all that you do. Letter to a caregiver.
Thank you so much for that. And hopefully, the caregivers that are currently watching are taking that to heart. Please do take care of yourself. You are loved, you are appreciated. And now we're going to get back into some love and appreciation for our next honorees. Next up is Jahai or Jahi. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He's been a caregiver from a very young age. He first was a caregiver for his grandfather, who recently passed away due to complications of COVID. And he presently cares for his grandmother with Alzheimer's disease.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jahi Murray, and before I get started, I would like to thank the NYU Langone program staff for nominating me for the 2021 Leon David Simmons Award. I have been taking care of my grandmother for quite some time now. I want to say since my early teenage years, so like around 12, 13, beginning right there. I noticed she was deteriorating physically a little bit, like around 15, and that's how I started really picking up the slack, like helping out around the house heavily, cleaning outside, and then the various different chores in the house, like cleaning, vacuuming, wiping down stuff, pouring hot water while she cooks, picking up heavy pots, assisting her when she like takes her tea to the room. And I've done just various different tasks. And I've done that ever since I was like early teenager. And I'm still doing it to this day, even though it's a bit harder because she's trying to fight for her independence and freedom. And I understand that as you're getting older, you tend to lose that sort of freedom and free will and you rely on more people more. So I think it's trying to get into her. But I just try to remind her that I'm here to help you always and I love you. I'm just here to take care of you. The caregiving picked up around 2017 when my grandfather got very sick and had to spend a lot of time in the hospital with my mother. So when that happened, my mother wasn't staying home that often as much as she would like to. So that led to me being home alone with my grandmother. And I noticed that she was very struggling, walking, having a hard time cooking, cleaning around the house, and just typical having maintaining good balance and going up staircases. So what I would do is, since I was around 16, I would ask her, "Oh, do you need help with this? Do you need help with that?" And then she'll tell me, yeah, she would, but oftentimes she'll try to do stuff herself and it wouldn't work out. And I'll just have to go over there and just take it from her or do it for her without me asking to ask permission for help or for me to help her. So over time now, whenever I see she's struggling, I just pick up, act on it. I don't, it's like second nature now. I don't even bother asking because I know she'll get mad, like, oh, I can do this myself when I know she really can't. And I know she knows she can't. So I just try the best and I just do it for her. And she knows when I'm doing it. She looks at me, hugs me in the face, like, "Oh, why are you helping me?" But I know she appreciates the help. She just can't say it. The main challenge we have with my grandmother is getting her to ask for help. She believes asking for help is a sign of weakness when that's completely false. We want her to ask for help because instead of her taking the risk of doing something and falling and breaking her hip, we have me or my mother to assist you. And for some reason, she just won't ask for the help. She'd rather do it herself, struggle, and take the chance of breaking her hip or falling or something else, breaking something even worse than a hip, which we don't want for her. But unfortunately, as to this day, she won't ask for help. And on our part, we have to do the job of taking initiative and just doing it. And if she gets the attitude, so what? We just got to keep helping her and make her realize that if you don't want to ask for the help for yourself, then we will do it for you regardless of what you need or what you want. To all my fellow caregivers out there, do not stop caregiving no matter how hard or how difficult that person may be. They may not realize that your help is very beneficial and impactful towards them right now, but in due time, they will realize that the help that you're giving them is very impactful for them and they will show you their appreciation for it. And that pretty much sums up the caregiving role of me and my grandmother in the household of 2021 and just going down the past few years of me being caregiver for her. It's been very difficult, very hard, but over time I learned tips and tricks on how to help my grandmother, what and what not to do. And I just take it step by step, day by day, and I help as best as I can. Once again, I feel honored to be recognized by the NYU Langone program staff for this award. I'm very grateful, and thank you very much for having me in this award show.
All right, awesome. I know that many of us, we love our grandmas, grandparents, things like that. And just to see someone caregiving from such a young age and continuing and just encouraging is wonderful. So we're going to go on next to Beverly. Beverly is a caregiver and life partner and is managing 24 hours of home care services for her care recipient. Let's kick it to get Beverly.
It's Beverly Briggs. I'm a healthcare provider for my life partner, Lawrence Jones. I'm 71 years old, and I've been caring for him for about 10 to 13 years. He has Parkinson's disease. Now, the challenges of caring for him are obvious because of my disabilities, I can't do it. But getting home health care in the home for 24 hours was definitely a challenge. I had to leave him in the house for 8 to 12 hours alone. And he didn't get 24-hour coverage until he got UTIs, urinary tract infections, he got a decubitus, and he had to be hospitalized. Finally, they gave me 24-hour coverage. And the other challenges are the healthcare workers that come into your home. They seem to think they can stay on their phones with the earphones all the time. Some of them do not know anything about caregiving, so I sometimes wonder what kind of teaching they get. Some of them are inconsiderate. They'll put their bag on top of your table. This is COVID. You don't do that. What I would say for people who want to care for their loved one, get some sort of medical knowledge and be persistent. Because if you're not persistent, you're going to fall through the cracks. And that's about it.
Yes, I hear that persistence. And I imagine that many caregivers understand. I think we had Natalie talk about that as well, that sometimes when you are providing care, it feels like you are pulling resources out and like struggling for them. So you have to be persistent. So appreciate that, Beverly. All right. We're moving on now to our next caregiver, Norman Grant, who is caring for his mother.
Hi, I'm Norman. I'm doing a little thing on caretakers. As for me, I am my mom only caretaker. I have no one else, the only son. It's more debilitating for me than anybody else. I reach out to a lot of people and just find out how this thing works, and it's an experience that I learned on my own. She's been going through this for like a year and 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and had no idea what it was. And it was so challenging that, I try to figure it out. Mom would say, stuff that is irrelevant to what's going on and never remembered 2 minutes after the conversation or something I said to her. And she kept on asking the same questions over and over again. I was like, what's going on? That's not like mom. My mom was sharp. She went to her issues and she's a sharp lady. But to see her go through this is debilitating for me. I spent a lot of nights crying because I had no idea what it was. I try to reach out to people and, so one or two people goes, wow, guy, you in for it, man. You have no idea what it is all about. But, it's challenging, and with the right support, you could get through this as an individual. Take care of yourself. That's the key. That's the key, they tell me. And I could take care of mom. And, it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. But someone told me before, take care of mom now and don't worry about the future. The encouraging words I could say is, seek friends, seek advices, and you're not going through this alone. Just be strong, and it's not. You can show emotions. Yes, that helps for me, and just get help. Talk to someone, anybody, and comfort. That's what it's all about. Comfort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Norman. And yes, definitely seek help, seek out resources. Caregiver outreach, mentorship, empowerment is a resource for you. And we can connect you with folks who are in your same position if you are a caregiver and looking for support. Next, we have Lisa Benton, who was caring for her mother. Her mother passed away early November, and so we want to give our condolences to Lisa. And here's Lisa.
My name is Lisa Benton Fergus, and I am the caregiver of this wonderful lady, Estella Benton. She is my mother. I've been with her for 64 years. I officially became her caregiver in May of 1992 when my father had passed. My mother and I were like best buddies. We did just about everything together. Even though I went to work, she would call me later on at night to see how my day was. So we were both looking out for each other. In the years to come, my mother was a very vibrant but independent person. She liked to do things on her own. But as the years passed on, she did not cook as much as she used to because sometimes she would forget that she had something on the stove. So my husband, my dear sweet husband, her son-in-law, became her cook. And he would cook for her because she liked his food better than she liked mine, which was okay because I took care of everything else. I really liked the fact that my mother, my husband, and my brother and myself all got along. And there wasn't a lot of pressure not to take care of mom. We love mom so much, but unfortunately, mom has gone on. She just passed recently at the age of 101 and a half, which is a milestone. And I like to think that because of the great care that she was given, that is why she lasted so long. She did mostly her bathing, her dressing, going to her appointments on her own with a little bit of assistance from myself and my husband. We love mom so much and we miss her so much, but we know that she is in a better place and that she's happy because she is with her husband. And the biggest thing I could ever tell any caregiver is just to have patience. Thank you so much, and good luck with all the rest of you out there, and may your parents live to be 101 and a half.
That is wonderful. And Lisa, it was definitely because of the wonderful caregiving that you gave that she was able to hit that 101 milestone. That is amazing. And again, sincere prayers and condolences on behalf of Come as well. Next, we'll have Tia Jackson, who is the caregiver for her 29-month autistic son, Tia.
Wow, what an honor. I am humbled and thankful. My name is Tia Jackson, and I've been a mom for 4 years, and I've been a caregiver for my son Gray for 29 months. That's when I received his diagnosis of autism. I never thought of myself as his caregiver until I looked up the definition of a caregiver whom I became. My son is an amazingly autistic individual. He teaches me so much. And his view of the world is so black and white, which is funny because his name is Gray, which is all of the colors in between. Since finding out about his diagnosis, the biggest challenge I faced was finding assistance and resources within my community. I had to look at the world differently. I had to research and look for services and network with individuals to assist me in this journey. You will face obstacles like finding the right programs, schools, services, and teams for your child. You will have a lot of paperwork to complete. How I manage is passing off what I can to my caregiving manager to finish, setting the mood to handle the paperwork, and setting the mood to read the medical reports and school reports. Remember that report is where your child is currently. It does not define who your child will be. I review those reports as the obstacles my child face and the things we get to work on to assist him in excelling at life. I change my parental style to fit the child I have. I looked at my own biases and opened my mind and village to include people of different abilities. The autistic parents that I met have become my village. I encourage you, when you feel alone and you have no one, look around you. There is a village waiting for you. You just have to be open to see them. We all have expectations of what our child will be like before they are born. And I say to you, it's okay to grieve those expectations. And you should, because it allows you to see and love the child you have. It is going to be challenging, and it's also going to be rewarding. Every moment is different. Everyone says, take it day by day. I say to you, take it one step at a time with one foot in front of the other. Thank you.
One step at a time with one foot in front of the other. Amazing advice. Now I'll turn it over and back to Jackie Gage for another musical selection.
In the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes. Oh, when there's something without warning, love weighs heavy on my mind. Oh, then I look at you, oh, and the world's alright with me. Oh, it's just one look at you, oh, and I know it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Oh, it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's already been such a lovely day. Oh, when the road that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and there is someone else instead of me. Oh, he seems to know the way. Oh, then I look at you, oh, and the world's alright with me. Oh, it's just one look at you, oh, and I know that it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be a lovely day. Oh, I know it'll be a lovely day. Ooh, oh, a lovely day. Oh, I know it's gonna be a lovely day. It's already been such a lovely day with you. And a fun fact about this song, Bill Withers was in the Guinness Book of World Records for this song. And you wanna guess why? It's because he held out the word day for a good 18 seconds, unassisted by any technology, just using his voice, his soul, his passion, his spirit. And I invite you to hold out that note with me, to think about how lovely of a time we've had together. Are you ready? Oh, it'll be a lovely day. Ooh, oh, a lovely day. Ooh, I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Thank you for joining me. Had such a wonderful time with you, and wishing you a lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely rest of your day. Oh, I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
I guess that's my cue. Thank you so much. So again, my name is Nikki Stewart. I am the Chair of Research and Advocacy here at Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment. But I also play another role in another organization where I sit on the board as the Citywide Behavioral Health Coalition for Black Elders. And at this time, it's really a surprise. Diane knows nothing about this. But Diane, today we also want to honor you for all that you do for the community, for caregivers everywhere here in New York City. So I'm holding up this plaque. I don't know if you could see it. I have a glare outside, but I just want to read you a little something. We are pleased to present Diane Cooper and Caregivers Outreach Mentorship Empowerment with the Eleanor Bumpers Award for 2021. As you know, Eleanor Bumpers met her demise at the hands of those who professed to protect her. We bestow this award annually in her memory upon those whose work has truly served and protect the Black community, especially people with behavioral health needs. Diane Cooper, who established this innovative organization to support caregivers, recognizing the importance of self-care, encouragement, and support for those who are relied upon for the care of others. In doing so, you have provided care for caregivers since 2006 and probably beyond that through service, education, and celebration. We are therefore delighted to acknowledge and celebrate you and your efforts to care for caregivers. And so, in recognition of your extraordinary contribution, the Citywide Behavioral Health Coalition for Black Elders, Inc. are proudly presents you with the Eleanor Bumpers Award for 2021. Not only am I sit on the board with Diane for this wonderful organization, but you have been truly an inspiration and a friend to me and a mentor to me for the past 10 years that I've known you. So I love you, and I will bring this to your house. Maybe we can have some coffee. But congratulations, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, you all know I'm nothing but a crybaby. So how could you do that to me? And I love doing surprises. I don't like getting surprised. But I appreciate all that you do. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. You know, you all have just taken a journey of the different faces of caregivers. You know, as you see a caregiver, maybe a man, woman, child, son, daughter, maybe a for special needs individual. So you just took that journey of the different faces of caregivers. I hope and pray that as you took that journey, that you heard your story, that you heard something that maybe can encourage you, that you heard something that maybe will encourage you to reach out for help, that you heard something that may encourage you to keep going, to keep doing what you're doing, because you are appreciated, and we do appreciate all that you do. For caregivers are making a difference. They're making a difference in our healthcare systems, in our family, in our community, in our home, in our nation. You are making a difference. And I want you to always remember November as being National Family Caregivers Month. And for organizations that may be listening out there, just appreciate, you know, your employees who are caregivers. Appreciate your caregivers who are caring for maybe your clients at your organizations, and show them that we do care for them and they are not alone. So I want to take this time out to close. I believe is closing. To say thank you all again for everything. I appreciate all that you do, your support to Caregivers Outreach. And I also just want to say that it means so much to me, you taking the time out to participate in this program today. And I'm trying to hold back the tears for being surprised, but I just want to wish you all a blessed day and stay healthy, stay well, and happy holidays.